Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended, the podcast. Have we got some shit for you today? I'm Kim. This is Tyler. Was that a better intro?
Fantastic.
Awesome. All right.
Man, frickin'. I like it.
Okay.
So what do we got on today?
So many things. What
So
do
we're
you
gonna
have?
we're gonna talk about the Omnicorp variant,
Ooh.
which apparently is scaring everyone. We're gonna talk about more racism because it's not enough to not be racist. You have to actively be anti-racist. So it's nice to see.
I just can't get enough of this shit. Just can't get enough. Okay.
Oh, it's never gonna stop. Never gonna stop. Never gonna stop. Fuck, I don't. A 15-year-old in, for anyone that doesn't know, in Michigan, the beautiful rusty state of Michigan, is there's some weird stuff going on with this, and it sounds like the DA is pushing for anything and everything to be a crime in regards to this. It's really weird. The people that they're trying to rope in with this, that's my take anyways. It seems like, according, just looking over our show notes a little bit, seems like you have a little bit of a different take, Kim, which is why we do not cite CNN, NBC, NPR, because they have a different kind of slant where they think anyone that has a gun is a criminal and should be treated like the unvaccinated.
Well, we'll get more into that, shall we?
What else? Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman are the two most woke retards I've ever seen, and their shitty show, Santa Inc.
Hey, it ain't so. Hey,
Sarah Silverman's been super woke libtard for fucking decades. I shouldn't say decades, but it's so funny, her going all blackface and all that. When she does it, it's funny. It's for comedy, but when someone else does it, they're insensitive. So it's kind of weird seeing two Jews. Well, one's a Jew, one's a agnostic. Is now saying that, hey, Christmas is about it's male dominated. You're so fucking dumb. Both Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman. Do you guys remember when you two were funny?
A minute ago.
It's been I think ever since Pineapple Express. I think but yeah, all right. So
before we get into this, check us out on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Anchor. Check out our Facebook group. We're Offended, You're Offended, obviously. Our Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. Come check us out. Share us, like us, comment, share.
Okay, so let's just get rolling because we got a lot to talk about. I mean, so for CTV News, in fact, I actually have another article that I'm actually working on. I'm gonna see if I can get this out for either tomorrow or possibly Friday. We're gonna talk about this. You know what? Fuck it. I can cite this again. It's my fucking show. Cite whatever the hell I want. It's as simple as that. But so from CTV News. Okay, and this is please. I'm not saying like, oh, this isn't real. Oh, it's fake. Oh, this is all government propaganda just to blah blah blah. Now the last one, okay, maybe. But all the other stuff that it's made up, it doesn't exist. Thing is, at some point, you have to agree that, hey, maybe it's real. But so
I mean, we only wear a little bit of tinfoil in our hair. We don't wear the whole helmet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. You'd be psycho if you did. But so please just look at the wording. So I'll preface this with this. Preface this with this.
That's a tongue twister.
So the Omnicorp variant has been showing less severe sickness at the time of recording, and we're a day behind right now. So normally our video is already up on the 6th, but you know, hey, I was driving my big boy truck and I couldn't because apparently the highways are poo poo. So for December 6th at the time of the recording, no one has died from this variant. All the people that have gotten it, almost all of them have been
Have been what?
so
I don't even know what
yeah.
Okay.
They followed along with what the government told them to do. How about that? How about that? You like that way of saying it?
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm just saying right now, it seems like it is less severe, less deadly, which is, hey,
Excellent. That's what you want to hear.
you would think people would be championing this.
Right?
You think people would be happy. Oh, it's not that severe. Fantastic. So, New York, New York, New York. Oh, you used to be a shining beacon of taking in your weak, you're sick, you're old. Bring them to my country and we will make them great. We will make them prosperous. Now, you're basically Germany. So New York announced 3 more cases of the Omnicorp variant of the coronavirus on Saturday, bringing the number of state cases linked to the new variant to gasp 8. Ooh. So I don't know if you've seen in New York, they're now instituting citywide vaccine mandates. You have to have a vaccination. You have to have a passport in order to enter the city. So there should be, like, we should look on Zillow to see how many places have gone for sale since the start of December. I bet Zillow listings have skyrocketed in the city of New York. But still, any Hooters. So the Omnicorp variant is here and anticipated. We are seeing the beginning of community spread. The number of states finding the variant is growing as well, with Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Washington State announcing their first cases on Saturday. All of them, I think, except for Massachusetts, had one case of where someone was.
Oh my God, are you saying Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, yeah.
I thought I heard you wrong the first time until you said it again. I was like, wait a minute. All right, carry on with the two shits.
Okay, so I could list off all the states. Okay, it's in the United States, it's in Canada, it's all over the place. But let's keep locking everything down. So the arrival of the Omnicorp comes as hospitals statewide continue to strain under a surge in corona cases. See, check that wording. Check that wording. Most traced to the Delta variant. Oh, how fucking weird. Along with staffing shortages. I wonder why.
Right. I couldn't imagine why there would be shortages. Not at all.
No, it has nothing to do with telling them if they don't get this right now while we're, under a pandemic.
Definitely has nothing to do with
Maybe.
mandates. Never.
Okay. Oh, so the number of people testing positive. So what? All these people, watch their wording. So this sounds scary. This sounds terrifying. The number of people testing positive statewide each day for the virus has doubled. It's doubled.
Well, that could be like insane. Like, how do we know what the original number was? Because if the original number was like 2,000 people testing positive per day, now we're at 4,000. Jesus, that's insane. But if it's like 10 and now it's 20,
that's the thing. You can make stats say whatever you want. That's the beautiful thing with statistics. You can make them say whatever you want. So it's so weird. So do you remember? Well, I know you remember when you were all like, "Oh my God, look at the cases." What did they show? They would show total cases and then deaths.
100%. Right? Yep.
Now what are they showing?
That's a really good question.
What are they
I'm pretty
showing?
sure it's still number of cases and deaths. I think they might have
They're
vaccinated now, maybe.
they're only showing mostly cases. They don't show deaths. So if you see, oh, this place, Canada has increased its, its number by 1,000. Okay, so what? Like it says some okay, so 1,000 more
Well,
people. Let's just say if there's 1,000 more people, but you're actually looking at the stats. You're trying to get into the thick of it. But what are they showing on the news? Oh, it's increased. I don't know, another 1,000. That's the thing. It's just fear, fear, fear. There
yeah.
was an interview on what was it, NBC. Lady was talking to one of the doctors that had to report this in South Africa, where this was first discovered. And so the doctor's saying basically, well, we don't know, but it seems like the symptoms are mild. And he's like trying to tone it down. And he says, I understand everyone's tired of hearing it, but wear your mask, social distancing, what's, okay, fine. But she's saying, well, is there maybe a cause for concern of things increasing? What? I don't fucking care. Yeah, so she's saying, well, isn't there a chance that things could be getting worse? And he goes, well, I think it's too early to tell. Well, and so she responds with, well, so there's not enough information. So should we look at she's like itching for just give me, come on, give me fucking something bad. Give me something bad. Come on. We have fear. We're not information peddlers. We have fear to peddle. Come on, give me something. You can't tell these people not to worry. It's the only way that we control them. You have to be afraid. Be afraid. Why aren't you afraid? Look, maybe they might. Oh, there might be a surge. A surge. So this is actually one article that I ended up. Why is this not pulling up? Why you do this to me? What the hell is going on here? So this. Okay, sorry. So this is one article that I'm working on to refute Theresa Tam. So I'm going to be getting a little bit deeper in with her. So Canada reports 15 cases of Omnicorp variant. Says severe COVID trends could rise. Fuck, that sounds pretty scary, right? Canada has discovered a total of 15 cases of the new Omnicorp variant and severe. Watch this. Watch the wording. Watch the wording. And severe illness trends across the country could start to rise again. The federal government said it backed a recommendation of a National Advisory Board on immunizations that all adults above 50 should receive booster shots 6 months after completion of a vaccine series. Ottawa announced last week that it will require people arriving by air from all nations except the United States to take a COVID test, and it expanded a ban on travelers from South Africa to cover 10 nations. So so this was from Reuters. Sorry, Reuters. The need for heightened vigilance remains regardless of which variant is circulating. So Theresa Tam has, remember there's the same person that said that we need to eliminate wrong think. Very Orwellian of you to say, my dear. Currently, severe illness trends have leveled off, but they are still elevated and could begin to rise again unless we keep infection rates down. So, yeah. So I guess to get back to our original, where the hell, damn it. So it's interesting. So like I said, it's interesting to see their wording. We're not talking about, health. We're not talking about things you can do, treatments available. And it's really interesting. So for this Reuters article, Procurement Minister Anita Anand said Canada has signed a deal with Pfizer for 1 million doses of its oral antiviral medication for the treatment of COVID, and a deal with Merck and Company for a 500,000 doses of a similar pill. The deals You want to do something for me, Kimmy? Ah!
What?
Let's take a look at Pfizer's stock price. Pick one. What? Yahoo? Let's go. Yeah, sure. Yahoo's the first one that pulls up. Oh no. They're losing. They've dropped in one day.
Ooh.
But let's see in their 6 months. Oh. Man, is that their 6 day or 6 months, sorry? Ooh. Their year to date? If you bought back in February 21, how about 1 year? How about 5 years? Look at that spike. God, you're laughing, aren't you? You're laughing. But so, anyways, that's so that line right there kind of bugs me. And the reason why it bugs me, the procurement minister, blah, blah, blah. So we're trying to administer, they're purchasing dosages. So I would say if this was, so I said this a while back that government's already bought this. They're already on the hook for millions upon millions of dollars. So you think they're just going to let that stuff go to waste? No.
Of course not.
And then the Omnicorp, well, the vaccinations might be or the vaccine.
You mean?
No, Omnicorp.
Why do you keep saying corp?
Because then I can actually say it. Omnicorp is from RoboCop. That was the big evil brain drain.
Okay.
In the movie.
It's kind of funny how I think it sounds like a transformer, and then you're using another thing that's robot-y. So yeah, it works.
Well, RoboCop is the allegory of Jesus.
What?
Yeah. RoboCop is an allegory for Jesus. RoboCop allegory for Jesus. Think I'm joking?
No, I just
Why
don't
RoboCop
get it.
is a Jesus Christ story. The idea of RoboCop being a Christ allegory, however, can be explored further. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into that little
No, it's okay. We don't have to.
Yeah, no.
All right. So yeah, the Omnicorp variant has shown to be less dangerous. So we should be cheering that. And like I was going to say, Dr. Z, who I get and Dr. Rogan, I get all my medical advice from Dr. Rogan. And
he's so smart, Dr. Rogan.
who the hell was he talking to? He was talking with Rick, I can't remember who it was. But he was saying like, with whatever the hell that doctor's name is. The hell is the CNN doctor? Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah.
And so, Joe was saying like, I think he's kind of like Sanjay is used to kind of just being the smartest man in the room in regards to something. And then Joe is saying like, yo, I like every single article, every single study, all treatment, all this stuff. He's like, I have it saved on my phone. It's in a folder. So I read this stuff. I talk to doctors all the time. So I'm not ignorant. He's like, I'm well educated in this. I'm not a doctor, but I talk to a lot of them. So they give me a lot of information so that I can make the best medical choice. And but so anyways, that's besides the point. But Dr. Zubin, I've actually come to respect a lot of his work, even though there's some things that I don't necessarily agree with him on. But the thing is, he's not saying, "Oh, well, this doesn't exist, that doesn't exist, natural immunity. Oh, that we're not even talking about that. Oh, we need to mandate everything. Oh, no, he's like the thing that sold me on him was he said, "I understand. It's scary. I understand." And and this has been my thing from the start was, okay, and I'll reiterate this again. We don't at the time, we did not know what we were scientists did not know what we were dealing with. Totally fine. Except unless you're Anthony Fauci funding the NIH with Green Health Alliance that actually directly funded the Wuhan lab. So to, the gain of function research. But other doctors didn't know. Fauci knew exactly. And I have a sneaking suspicion if there was some digging done, I'm sure Canada probably had a hand in that too. Just that's straight speculation. I have nothing to prove that. It's just a feeling that I get. So, other doctors didn't know what they were dealing. But now that the information is coming out and more that yes, it was actually, we were told, oh well, this happened from a bat mated with a turtle or whatever, and suddenly it got into somebody's bat soup and
mated
like,
with a turtle.
no.
The mental image I got there, thanks.
Oh, please don't. No, that'd be like that's my Mitch McConnell. That's my Mitch McConnell impression. That actually might be my Ralph Eichler impression. That guy. I was trying to find some information on him because I would like to speak with him. I can't find anything that he's voted on except nothing. I don't know what this guy's done.
Oh.
I'm trying to find direct information on policies that he has pushed for that he voted on. Can't find it. Please, if anyone knows where, please steer me in that direction. Yeah, let me know. So I would like to actually, there's our first question of the day. How do you feel about it? I would love to know, please. How do you feel about the new Omnicorp? Are you worried about it? Are you not worried about it? Please, I would like to know. But where the fuck was I? I don't know where the hell I was. Oh, right. Yeah. So I think Dr. Z was saying, and I've said this multiple times. I'm just reiterating what he says because I don't have an original thought. I'm just a dummy. But he was saying that naturally, viruses tend to get less severe. Like the ones that stick around become more transmissible but less deadly. So this should be something we're cheering for. Good. Yes. Give me the sweet Omnicorp. Like I want to get it. Give it to me. Start having Omnicorp parties. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, dumb if you think that.
No, that's not. We're not going to do that.
Maybe.
No, not really.
But yeah. All right. Then I got one more, and then good old KJ. She's going to be taking up the mantle because where the hell is this stupid fuck? So from True North. Oh, is there anything you want to say about Omnicorp?
No, I'm good. No. I mean, I already said, like, I'm not considering the fact that it's been reported that it's less um, deadly. I'm okay with that. I think that's the fantastic news that it's maybe hopefully starting to the severity of it starting to wean down finally, and I think that's fantastic news, and hopefully it'll continue going on that downward slope.
Yeah. So if this was actually about health, we would be talking about natural immunity. We would be talking about actual health, exercising, vitamins, all this type of stuff. Looking at treatments which have shown to work, NADs, monoclonal antibodies. Nothing. That's not talked about. What?
I said that's awesome.
Well, but it's awesome that at least that information is out, but no one is talking about. They're talking about Pfizer and Moderna. Isn't it weird? You now see advertisements brought to you by Pfizer.
Oh, of course, because they have to keep the fear going. They have to keep people in their pockets. They can't tell them, "Hey, guess what? Things are starting to look on the up and up here." Like starting to get brighter. No, they want people to stay fearful.
Yeah,
Easier
and
to control.
I'm a Johnson and Johnson guy, so I'm just joking. Johnson Johnson's. I don't care. I don't want your money. I don't want your money. So, all right. So, all right, let's get on to this next one. So, from True North, Ontario Union votes 2 extra days off for Black employees only. An Ontario union has voted overwhelmingly and without debate to allow Black employees 2 extra days of mental health leave to deal with the impact of anti-Black racism. Oh, man. So, yeah, the Association of Management, Administrative, and Professional Crown Employees was considering the motion for its annual conference. The chairman of AMPQ's Black Caucus, Elaine Spencer, claimed this coverage demonized Black employees and provided all the more reason to give her members special consideration. Many of our members have volunteered their time to combat the anti-racism struggle in the Ontario Public Service, and that has led to burnout, a tremendous amount of relived trauma, and exhaustion. The motion was pushed through with no debate and no indication of the vote tally after considerable discussion ensued in response to a similar Black Caucus motion. A source who preferred to remain anonymous says the 2 extra days is an addition to 3 days of compassionate leave already afforded to all union members. God, does that not sound racist to you? Literally a something enacted. So this is here. I'm going to look at it the other way. The reason why they're enacting this is because they do not want Black people in the workplace. They hate Black people. So obviously they want to give them extra days off, right?
Well, naturally, it's less days that you gotta see them.
Well, exactly. So it just makes
Yeah.
common sense. A tape of the proceedings obtained by True North shows that several attendees tried to suggest that every minority group is deserving of equity initiatives. Equity. Huh.
What is that
Equity.
word? That sounds like, is that a word? It just sounds like a sound. I don't recognize it.
Equity. But I mean, equity. So minorities are more deserving of something than other groups?
No, it's not just minorities, sweetie. It's one minority.
No,
Only
I know,
one.
but they initially tried to get every minority group. Now it's only the Black people? Man, that's racist. The suggestion came in response to a separate motion calling for special programs for Black employees intended to, and I quote, address disparities in career advancement. So I think Opakapikiri sounds Aboriginal, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Amapikyo, come on, that's Aboriginal as fuck. They just don't like Black people. They, honestly, they hate Black people. They just don't want them in there. I do stand with every marginalized community. We have to understand that Muslims are marginalized as well as Asians, Native Americans. Are you fucking insane? This is absolutely insane. When one attendee amended the motion to put its focus on all equity seeking groups, Spencer became agitated. She suggested that if the word Black is taken out, the union might as well strike down its Black caucus altogether.
Oh boy.
All right, so that yeah. Okay, so yeah, every other group? Nah, you shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. You're not allowed to talk.
Well, no, I like
No,
this. We're not seeking or we're not equity seeking. We are
you
equity
literally
denied. What?
this is the stupid in this world. This is literally the stupid in this world. Like, okay,
Okay. I can understand, sorry to cut you off, but I can understand that how they have separate things in place for different minority groups that we might not uh require. I don't think is a bad thing.
what does it
Um
matter?
hold on. Like at my workplace, I remember that we had a um, thing on kind of being able to understand the Native American culture and stuff and kind of understand why certain things are done, to be able to better understand and to sympathize in certain ways. To have
Empathize
people,
what?
if people were actually like in residential schoolings or being affected by them, should there be special programs for them to help them deal with these things? 100% yes. This is where I'm kind of getting at. Like there should be different things in place for people to be able to reach out to get the help and the understanding that they require. But when you're bringing things into the workplace where, okay, you get this, you don't get this, you get that, you can have this. No, no, you can't. That's that's not okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna push back, because I think when you are only looking when there's a push in schools, where there's push in workplaces, when policies are being pushed to say, "Hey, look at skin color," that is all you're going to see. That is all you're going to focus on.
Well, no, that's where I agree with you. What I'm saying is things outside of the workplace. Like if they have special counseling for people in residential schoolings or special counseling for people who've been affected, special counselors who are of I don't even know what to say without offending anybody, African American or whatever, that can sympathize and understand other Black people. I think those are good things. When it's
What
in
do
the
you mean other
workplace,
black people? What do you well, I don't get your point.
okay, having things outside of a workplace, like if I am of color and I'm dealing with things because of the color of my skin, it's much easier to reach out to a fellow Black counselor or Black program or something like that to help me through these issues, is what I'm
But
saying.
why? Why? Why does it have to be a whatever color skin? I don't understand that.
Well, because there might be more understanding.
Okay, so I'll use my one and only experience, that I've talked about on here, is talking with a person that had a different skin color than me. When the guy was saying, "Oh, she's watching me because I'm black, she's racist." And I said, "Are you sure? Like maybe she is, but do you think maybe it's your hood is up, you're kind of eyeing her, and she noticed you looking at her, and so she's looking at you, and you kind of play a bit of a game, and maybe you're like, maybe she's looking for it, or maybe you're looking for it, and you're probably like one of 1,000 customers she has interactions with a day. So I think actually having a different perspective of saying, hey, I understand the struggles that your culture or your ancestry has had in the past. Is that still existent today? Are you still feeling that? Honestly, are you feeling that? Do you feel that you're excluded from what workplaces, from work, whatever? Do you feel that you're unable to make an advancement in your career with your credentials? I think it should be looking at stuff like that, not saying because my skin color, therefore. I think that is super dangerous. I think, giving special treatment, because you know what that says to me? Like, honestly, yeah, it was tongue in cheek of them saying, well, they just hate white or black people, so they don't want them in the office. But that's the thing where you can find racism wherever the fuck you want to find it.
That's
You know,
exactly what's happening, is that they cry about one thing or they demand one thing, you give them that thing, and then right away then it's, "Oh, well, the only reason you gave us this is because you don't want Black people in the office." because you're racist.
Well,
It's like the
well, that
store owner, if he helps the white
yeah,
person first or the black person first. Like, it's
yeah,
100% is dangerous.
yeah. You can justify whatever you want if you want to make up that reason. So for anyone that doesn't know, like the idea was, so if there's a white person, so let's say it's a white cashier working at a store, and there's a white customer and a black customer. So here's where the racial politics, the identity politics, which I do not support in any which way whatsoever. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I don't give a flying fuck what color your skin is. I could not possibly care less. I couldn't. But so the idea with this shop owner was, so if it's a white person, if the white person helps the black customer first, it's racist because they don't trust them and they want them out of their store faster. That's one way you could look at it. The other way is that they recognize that they're racist and they're only helping the black person because they feel they have to recognize their racism. If they help the white person, oh,
If they help the white person, then they're racist.
well, if they help the white person, then it's to show. Oh, and I'm totally fucking this up now.
Well, you get the point, though. Like,
Yeah. Well. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so this was I want to make sure that I get their wording right because I'm trying to understand the racism in like this leftist CRT Marxist blah 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 identity politics crap. So this was an article from the Guardian, and this had to do with so it was shopping while black. So this is the problem, and this is why you can find racism anywhere. So if you have a white shopkeeper, a white customer, and a black customer. So here it says experiences of shopping while plaid include everything from slights like being ignored. That's it. So I wanted to make sure I got their wording right. So if the white shop owner helps the white customer, you are being ignored in favor of a white person. If you are a white shopkeeper and you help a black person, you do not trust them, thus you want them out of the store, or you're racist and you're trying to do whatever to get the person out. So so if you want to
that
find
honestly
racism,
hurts my brain just, like, trying to rationalize that. Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. 100%.
well, and that's the thing. Like the Guardian, actually, and Sephora, the makeup place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to go for uh you know CRT training, recognizing racism. So it's this type of shit, this type of stuff. So you're like, it's literally, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So this stupid fucking article that you know black people Black people need extra time off? Well, because you don't want them in the business. You don't want them in the workplace because they're black. Oh, and now we can literally put it on the other foot. The only reason why they get it is because they're black and you're trying to atone because you're racist. So you're fucked if you do, fucked if you don't. So
Yeah. Yep.
okay. Yeah. So it's incredible to see the amount of racism. And this is like, please don't, well, it's anti-racism. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Just no, shut up.
See,
It's racism.
my thing though is that, like, with all this stuff, like I've mentioned before, that this is going to create so much hate, so much anger, and a lot more racism. Because, okay, regardless of the color of your skin, some people they got the shit end of the stick. They have a really hard life. And they've been through some shit that I would never want to be through. But what, they don't deserve an extra day because of the shit that they're going through or the shit that they have gone through? You can't just take one person and say, okay, if roles were reversed and they were like, you know what? We're going to give an extra day off for whiteys here because, well, just because. Because,
Well, yeah,
they've had a rough go this last little while. Are you kidding? People would be freaking the fuck out. You can't do that. If you're trying to beat racism and you want to get past racism, you can't beat racism with racism. It doesn't work that way.
So this is one problem with this woke ideology, this stupid, this crap. So Merriam-Webster defines racism. So the problem with using, okay, so I'll just read it. So a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capabilities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. Doctrine or political program based on the assumption of racism and designed to execute its principles. B, a political or social system founded on racism. But I don't how am I supposed to understand what racism means if you're using the word to describe the word? So a doctrine or political program based on the assumption of a doctrine or a political program based on the assumption of, you get like a feedback loop, or a political or social system founded on a political system or social system founded on. That's literally the definition of racism. You're creating like a fucking feedback loop. Whatever. It's incredible to see the amount of racism that is open and apparent, cause segregation. I thought we got rid of that. I thought we said, hey, this is really bad. This is really bad.
I thought so too, but I guess us trying to get rid of racism and get rid of segregation is racist. So we got to just bring it all back. Bring it all back because apparently that's what everybody wants. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't get it.
So let's see what anti-racism means. Because very well mine. Okay. So in order to explain anti-racism, you need a fucking Wikipedia article just to try and break it down.
Awesome.
So it literally just means your word makes no fucking sense. And Wikipedia, I'm not giving you money, so go to hell. That makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Encompasses a range of ideas and political actions were meant to counter racial prejudice, systemic racism, and the oppression of specific racial groups. That sounds like fucking racism.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-racism is usually structured around the conscious efforts and deliberate actions which are intended to provide equal opportunity for all people on both an individual and systemic level. Sounds like racism, but okay. All right, let's I'll close with this and let's can't handle this stupid. When you make everything about race, when everything is centered around the color of your skin, when you start making laws, when you start giving preferential treatment because of somebody's skin color, you are going to create more racism. I thought we were doing pretty good where, hey, we're all equal. We are all seen as equal. And then we start getting protected classes. It used to be, hey, we need to protect women from men. That's why there's women's sports. That's why there's, all these different women organizations.
Not anymore.
Now look, we have we have men that transition to women competing in the fucking Olympics. Mm-hmm. So sorry, ladies. Sorry, you're not allowed in this.
Nope.
Sorry. And for equality, for equity, Sorry, you know, if you're actually a woman, fuck yourself. You're not welcome here. So go find something else to do. Oh, wait, no. You can't because, you know, men are just going to come in there and do the job better than you, which we're seeing over and over and over. We have shitty tennis players suddenly switch over to being a woman. Now suddenly they're a superstar. We have women competing in strong strong women competitions, blowing out records. There was an article from Vice. You know, it used to be super edgy and, you know, it used to be like kind of punk rock. They had a woman power lifter, and she even said, or he, no, you know what the thing? It's a fucking guy was saying, "Oh yeah, I had to sandbag a little bit so it didn't look like I won by too much."
Oh.
Congratulations. There's your equality. Yeah, at the sacrifice of who? Congratulations, society.
You know what? I would be more impressed if they decided to fight another man. You know what I mean? Like a transgender or whatever in this case decided to go into the men's competition and beat the men.
Yeah.
Then I would be like, yeah, damn right. This bitch kicked ass. But no, you're going to go against women and just beat up some women when men are genetically built stronger than females. That's your trophy. That's what you want to go out by. I beat up a bunch of girls. Good
Oh,
job. Good job.
outside of you know, any other sport, that guy would be getting his ass kicked
Yep.
because it's a guy beating the fuck out of a woman, or they'd be banned because their testosterone levels are way too high. But now they're doing away with that.
Hey, if I were
All
to dress up in like a little schoolgirl's outfit and beat up a kid, am I okay because I'm dressed as a kid?
you
Right?
should be by their rationale, but all right, let's move on to or do you want to save this for another day or
No, I don't. Okay.
no? All right. All right. And then yeah, I guess we can save the well, I'll get it out of the way now. No, you know what? No. You do your thing. I'll move this to tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So, in news. Oh my God. Um, so there is a 15-year-old boy who's being charged with a bunch of things. The events took place on November 30th, 2021, and this 15-year-old boy is being charged as an adult. Sorry.
Yep.
He's being charged with 1 count of terrorism, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts assault with intent to murder, 12 counts possession with firearm during commission to felony. Now, on this kid's phone, um, they had
So for anyone that doesn't know, this is regarding the thing that happened in Oakland High School, Oakfield. I always forget the school.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's in Oxford High.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So
So this is the kid that ended up shooting up the school, and you know, immediately people jumped on and said, "Well, if he's white, he's gonna claim self-defense." You fucking moron.
really, well, that was a thing.
Yeah.
That, of course, that's a thing. I don't know why I'm surprised at all by this. Okay, so for this kid, this didn't totally come out of nowhere. Their first behavioral report came in on the Monday of the assault or whatever, or the same week. Pardon me. So that Monday, a teacher in a classroom where he was a student or saw the student or heard something that they felt was disturbing. She had seen Ethan searching for ammunition on his phone during class and alerted the school officials, who left messages for his mother and went unreturned. They had a counseling session about it with the office officials, and the phone call was left with the parents. In a text following this, of course, because after this whole thing, they had obtained his phone. So after this, they had seen a text message from Jennifer Crumbly, which is his mother, who wrote, and I quote, "LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught." Next day, Tuesday, hours before the shooting, a different teacher in a different classroom saw some behavior that she felt was concerning and brought the child down to the office, had a meeting with the school officials, and called the parents. And ultimately, it was determined that he could go back to class. They discovered that a drawing from Ethan he had made depicting a handgun and a bullet and a bleeding figure. And the words "blood everywhere, the thoughts won't stop, help me" were also written. Prior to those two meetings, there was no contact or anything in his file, either concerning behavior or disciplinary actions. James and Jennifer were summoned to the school on that Tuesday, where they were instructed to get Ethan into mental health counseling within 48 hours. They resisted the idea of taking their son home from school and did not search his backpack, nor did they ask him about the gun or inform the school that they had even purchased one. The day of the incident, when it was made public about the shooting, Jennifer, Ethan's mom, had texted her son at 1:22 p.m. saying, "Don't do it." 1:37 p.m., James Crumley, the father, um, had contacted officials or contacted the police saying that his gun was missing and he believed that his son may be the shooter. Now, the Crumbleys stored the gun in an unlocked in the drawer in their bedroom. And it was later determined that the gun that was used in the shooting was the same gun that James Crumbly had purchased a Sigsar 9mm pistol on Black Friday as an early Christmas gift for his son Ethan. So after the shooting, well, first, also on the cell phone, they had recovered some videos about him talking about killing other students. There were notes at school that the parents were told the day of the shooting. Two separate videos from the suspect's cell phone were made the night before the incident. He talked about shooting and killing students the next day at Oxford High. A journal in his backpack also detailed his desire to shoot up the school. So after the shooting, apparently the father had found out about the shooting when he was at work, ran home from work to go check about the gun, noticed that the gun was missing. That's when he contacted the police. After that, the, they ran. The parents ran. So
Oh,
after the couple had failed to show up in court on Friday after being charged with involuntary manslaughter, a search warrant was issued. Around 11 p.m. on Friday, Detroit police received a tip that the Crumleys' car had been spotted near a large commercial building on the east side of downtown Detroit. According to the Detroit police officer, authorities said the building was actively used as an art space. Now, apparently, um, somebody had let them in this building, and now they're trying to find out who it was that let them in. Um, when they were arrested, a judge had set their bond at $500,000 each. Both parents faced 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter related to the mass shooting in Oxford. Prosecutors urged the judge to set a high bond amount, arguing that the pair represented a flight risk after an afternoon spending evading law enforcement and withdrawing thousands of dollars out of an ATM. The Crumbley's lawyer told the BBC that the couple had left town the night of the shooting for their own safety. They were not fleeing police, allegedly. The Crumbleys were each charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter after the events of November 30th, when authorities say that their 15-year-old son, Ethan, fatally shot 4 people and wounded 7 other fellow students. The notion that the parents could read those words and also know that their son had access to a deadly weapon that they gave him is inconscionable. Sorry, I can't read. And I think it's criminal, says Mrs. McDonald. Now,
Okay, so oh, okay.
no, go ahead. I was just gonna say now, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Okay, so if I were to take this at face value, yeah, it sounds, it sounds like this kid was having some type of mental break, whether, like schizophrenic or depression or whatever. Thing is, they're already the issue that I'm having with it. There's a few things that I'm having an issue with, but I'll say. So what did they do with so I have this article pulled up. So from that the Texas school shooter, where the parents were saying that, oh, he was bullied in school. He was bullied, that's why he did it. So this kid who did the same thing in Texas got $75,000 bail. $75,000. This fucking piece of shit for shooting up a school.
And he killed people, right? We're talking about we had talked about him in a podcast just a couple episodes ago. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
remember what his name is off the top of my head, but he was I think
I
he
don't
was like a
shit.
15-year-old black kid, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know. He was 18, so he was
What?
actually an adult.
I thought he was.
He was 18. No. Oh, but he has to report to home confinement. But okay, so anyways, this piece of shit that shot up a school got $75,000 and got house arrest. I assume until his jail or until his court date. Um. Okay, so let's see. So footage on social media shows this piece of shit getting into an altercation during class with another student that escalated to gunfire. The fight was broken up and two students calmed down, but the piece of shit pulled out a firearm from his orange backpack and fired several shots that struck three people, according to an arrest warrant. Calvin Petit, a 25-year-old English teacher who jumped in to break up the fight, was shot in the back, suffering broken ribs and a collapsed lung. All because he was bullied. He was bullied. So I need to shoot people because I was bullied. Police said a 15-year-old boy was in critical condition while a teenage girl who was grazed by a bullet had been discharged from the hospital. So this guy injured three people, nearly killed one. Okay, so he was charged with three counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, so that's the one thing. Why are the parents being charged for something their own child did? That's where I don't understand it. Why is their bond at 500,000? Well, I will say directly, they had nothing. Okay, so here. Let's say, so Kim, you give the kids a car. Okay? And they end up getting into an accident. Are you responsible for it?
Well, an accident is an accident.
If they were
So
involved in a collision where someone was killed, are you at fault for it? Criminally, not civilly, criminally. Civil is different than criminal.
no.
So, so okay, civilly, yes, I could see that. I could see that argument being made. That the parents of these victims from this piece of shit, this young kid piece of shit, the Oxford High piece of shit.
There's so many shits.
Well, so okay, that I can understand. Civilly, yes, but they're gonna charge the parents criminally. Well, then they should charge the gun shop owner. They should charge the gun manufacturer. They should charge the delivery driver for bringing it there.
See, the thing is that apparently I was reading that in Michigan, it's not a law that you have to store your gun locked and with ammunition separately like you would here. Like it has to be locked up and the ammunition cannot be stored with the gun. It has to be separate. In Michigan, they don't have laws like that. However, That being said, so them having their gun in their drawer where they had it, like, for me, that would be like a, "Oh my god," but there, they don't have that law, so, you can't really weigh in
Okay,
on that
so
too much. But
then there's no point in saying that.
but well, the thing is, but the media decides to say that. And in the article that you see that in, they don't
Okay, so
tell
that's
you
irrelevant.
that there is no laws pertaining to that. That's
Well,
the fun part. So,
that's the problem is when you read an article and you take it at face value, you have to do your own research because of course they're going to say, "Oh, well, in Washington state, you're supposed to keep your gun and your ammo separate, locked in a box, and if someone gets a hold of it, you could be found at fault."
yeah.
Okay? That we're talking about Michigan state. We're not talking about Washington. I don't know why you're talking about Washington. Washington has nothing to do with Michigan. So,
Anyway,
okay, shut up.
so anyway, um, I guess the thing with them is that they were brought to the school. They were made aware of that there was issues, and the funny thing is, like, the mother didn't even return any of the school's phone calls, emails, nothing in the first incident, and then just texted her son, "Don't worry, I'm not mad at you. You just have to get or be better at not getting caught." Like, okay. So,
Yeah,
okay, he's searching for ammunition for a gun that was bought for him. Okay, maybe. I can understand letting that kinda go. But they were also called into the office. They were shown drawings. They were shown things that their son had done that are very concerning. Now, if I were to be called into the office and seen my kid was drawing stuff like that, and I know damn well I just bought him a gun 2 days ago, I would be asking him, "Let me see your backpack." I'd be searching that or take him out of school. And I
okay.
would be bringing him to a counselor or something like that. I I would not feel safe my kid being there. And the fact that they knew he had a gun, they didn't check his backpack, they didn't notify the school that he had a gun, and they were brought in, told about these concerning, worrisome things, and they let the kids stay in school.
Okay, so here I'm gonna cut you off right at the knees. I'm gonna not Lorena Bobbitt. What was the
Tanya Harding?
figures? That's it. I'm gonna Tanya Harding you right now. Schools are trained in this. So a school did an evaluation there and they said, "Oh, you should seek counseling within 48 hours." So obviously they found something was wrong, but according to their own words that they said that um that this wasn't a viable threat at this moment. So if the parents were summoned to the school and they had like a mini discussion there and the school determined that it was okay for him to stay there.
I don't know if the school
How
did though, because in the wording in the article, it said that the parents, end quote, resisted the idea of taking their son home. So that makes it sound like the school may have suggested take him home and they said no. Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know. But judging from what I'm seeing in the article, that's how I'm taking it as. And that to me is a problem.
so that's the problem. So I'll say this. We're not psychological experts. Like and
You're
we're
not, I
parents.
am.
Like yeah, okay. But okay, like if we notice like, hey, something's a little off here, maybe they should have told the school. But the thing is, it's really it's none of the school's business what I purchase at home. It's not.
No, but like I said, if roles are reversed and I saw these things, him drawing a picture
Okay,
of a gun and dead body, you know, I would take my kid aside and look in his backpack.
okay, but that's a decision you're making. So obviously, let's just you can't jump to too many. Well, I would have done this, and I would have. No, this is a circumstance that is being dealt with. So the parents came into the school. The school said, "Hey, this is kind of concerning." Okay. Obviously, there was a discussion whether taking him out of school or keeping a bit of an eye on him. The school did nothing.
The school should have searched his backpack too. That's what doesn't make any sense to me either.
They have the right to do that.
Well,
So
yeah.
I would say the school should be held liable, a lot more than the parents should be held liable.
Well, I know at our kids' school, they would go through the backpack, the locker, whatever, if there was anything concerning. 100% they would be looking at these things, which they have
Yes.
every right to be doing. So I'm not sure why the school didn't either. That that doesn't totally make sense to me. Like it's eh.
Well, so they just like I said, all schools have this type of training where they're, that at least they have, a guidance counselor, someone that is trained in like a crisis, in
Yeah.
in some type of psychology, being some type of therapist, being able to recognize this stuff, and they just go, ah, you know, you should get counseling within 48 hours, but you know what? Stay at school. It's no big deal.
Why don't they have like I don't know. Again, I'm not from the States, but I know at our school we have a school social worker. So if there was any sort of worrisome behavior, the school social worker would be notified immediately.
Well, let's assume whether it's from the principal, vice principal, someone there is some type of guidance counselor or something like that. So why like I said, I wouldn't hold the parent at fault for something someone else did. Maybe civilly, not criminally.
Criminally, okay, I'll agree with you on that. I think it's pretty sketch that they ran, and then
But
there's
did
like
but did they?
they they
But did they?
they did. That night, they left. They left and they went and they stayed in a warehouse. They were sleeping in a basement in a warehouse. Like, how does that not seem suspicious? Like, whether it is or isn't, like, if roles were reversed and this was our kid that did this and we didn't do anything wrong, we would sit here. Like, why would we go run to a random building and sleep in the basement? Like, why? Like, that
I can
makes
maybe
them seem guilty.
okay, but seems guilty is very different from what they actually did. So if you want to look at, okay, so let's go back with the whole Rittenhouse thing. Well, he looked guilty. That was the argument from the other side, was he looks guilty. He's a white supremacist. He came there to shoot and kill. They're applying motive to something that you have no place applying a motive.
No, it just I can understand
So
how it can seem suspicious. If they were just to go to a friends or families or whatever because they were worried that people would start banging on their door and coming at them, that I can understand there being a fear and not wanting to be there. But I, like, why not go stay with family or friends? I don't know. Like a random warehouse. It's weird. And
uh,
yes, it may not be anything bad, but it comes across suspicious, which does
see,
not help them in any way.
okay, so who is Miss McDonald? Ms. McDonald. So the notion that a parent could read those worlds and also know that their son had access to a deadly weapon that they gave him is unconscionable, and I think it's criminal. Where, like that, like that's what I don't understand. That's what I'm really trying to understand. How is it unconscionable? How is it criminal? I don't, I don't understand that. And seeing what other lawyers, like I'm a fucking lawyer.
Yeah, you just had your meeting earlier today?
Yeah, yeah, we have our, with,
Karen
Ricada.
McDonald is the prosecutor.
Oh, that's oh, okay, so she's the motivated one.
I
Right,
guess
I
so,
remember
yeah.
hearing, yeah, so she's trying to charge anyone except actually making the state responsible for it. Right, so yeah, so
Oh,
she's applying sh thi I'll say this, from what I've been able to hear, this DA sounds very motivated. He
okay.
sounds
Well, this
very
is stuff
politically
that
motivated.
I have not read or heard, so enlighten me, sir.
Well, because like I said, so she's overcharging the parents. She put a $500,000 bail when a
Yeah, because
kid
'cause
in
they're a flight
Texas,
risk. Uh,
when a kid in Texas literally shoots people, 75,000. You know, I can see that there's something. I could see that there's, yeah, okay, something should have something should have happened here. 100%. I'm not arguing that. but to hold the parents responsible. So there's been a big push in the States, like, they're going to look at making gun manufacturers liable for if there's a shooting. So I sent this to Bill Blair, our gun idiot in Canada, saying, hey, we should look at banning Fords because one was just involved in a mass murder. When are you going to ban Ford Motor Company? Like, put responsibility on the perpetrator. You punish the crime, not society.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I feel that the parents being charged with involuntary manslaughter is quite harsh. That seems a little like they even had like when they had noticed I don't know if I said this, but when they noticed that the couple didn't show up, well, then the couple didn't show up for court. See, and that's another thing too, which makes them seem like they were hiding. They didn't show up for court. They were supposed to be there and they didn't show up. So then a search warrant was issued. And they literally had wanted posters with reward up to $10,000.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So
I don't give a shit about that.
no, anyway, but what I'm like saying is the involuntary manslaughter to me that seems extremely harsh. Like,
Well,
should the parents maybe have done something or taken the kid out of school
should the school
or
have done something? No,
well,
don't put it like the school has the resources in order to deal with this directly. Hey, we noticed your kid was looking up ammunition on his phone. Hey, we noticed that he has these drawings of killing people, and it obviously looks like he's having some type of mental break. We are going to take the steps to whether put him in compelled custody. We're going to put him, we're going to check him. Schools have the resources and the knowledge to recognize this stuff, and they decided to do nothing. So now they're going to overcharge the parents, and then the parents are going to say, well, we're going to be found guilty of something. Well, we'll barter down to a lesser charge. So now you have two parents, and I'm not trying to say that they're innocent. I'm saying when you overcharge someone, now what? Well, they're going to get us on, obviously, they're going to try and get us on something. Well, maybe we can plead down to something less.
I don't know. It's one of those situations where how many times have kids been involved in school shootings? Have you ever seen the parents be charged?
Never,
Exactly.
never.
To me,
So
this
that's
seems crazy to me.
that's the thing. You charge the criminal. I would say, like, Robert Barnes. For anyone that doesn't know Robert Barnes, he's a great lawyer, and I don't agree with everything he says, but he pushes an argument to a place where you can understand where he's coming from, and it makes a little more sense. But even he was saying, no, this makes absolutely no sense. Why you would charge people? Why you would charge people that were not? It'd be different if their son said, "I'm going to go to the school and I need a gun to go shoot it up," and the parents went and bought a gun for him, saying, "Hey, little scamp, don't you go shooting up that school now, you little rapscallion." Okay, yeah, they can be an accessory to murder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Okay,
mean,
that
and the mom even making a comment like, "LOL, well, don't get caught." Okay, well, they bought him
so
a
I was
gun, like, which isn't
okay, but
against the
so
law.
what?
That's my point.
Well,
They
so then why
play it
bring it
up
up?
because you're not letting me finish, sweetie. Because they play it up in the media like it was something absolutely horrible to say. And
See, like,
in this situation, they just gave him an early Christmas gift and he was looking up ammunition for it. That's not a bad thing. It may seem concerning, but at that point, that wasn't a bad thing. The other things that were brought up were quite concerning. That particular incident, not really so much.
oh, so maybe it was like some type of like therapeutic or something, to help alleviate, maybe get rid of his stress, something, and the thing nowadays is a lot of kids are suffering from, they don't have any confidence. There's a lot of lacking self-confidence, a lot of lacking self-worth, which is why you see kids are saying, "Oh, I identify as this. I identify as that." And I've talked with our schools that this type of shit, instead of making them excellent at something, making them excellent at anything. You have teachers that overwhelmingly just don't give a shit. Everyone, and I will say everyone, has a story of teachers that literally did not care. Mr. Land in Murdoch did not care. He had us sitting from like our last names. That's the only way he knew if you were there or not, because he didn't give a shit. He literally did not care. So,
I'm trying to remember what you taught.
History, I think. No, not history. Fuck, I don't know.
Teacher?
I don't know. I don't care. That's the thing. Okay. But you know, with today, and everyone, kids are just trapped on their phone. People are trapped on their phones, but they end up getting, shoveled in with the algorithms and what gets you more likes and what gets you more tweets and it's all about engagement. It's all about keeping you on there. The second you put the stuff down, like I post on Twitter all the time. I say stupid shit. I say stupid shit to people all the time because it's funny. I think it's funny, pointing out, hey, Seth Rogen, hey, Sarah Silverman, you're a bunch of white people telling white people that they're fucking bad and people are sick of it. People don't want to hear it. There's a reason why your shitty fucking television show is shit.
They have a television
That's
show?
me. That's what this Santa Inc. is. It's a fucking shitty show. But when kids are, they have no one cheering for them. Parents are too busy working. Parents are too busy working multiple jobs, single parents. People are, they're just struggling the day to day. And the government is coming in and saying, oh, well, we're going to be your parent. Here, have a television. Here, you're like, I think that's a bigger problem. Is this kid, maybe he has some type of mental problem. I would not be surprised. But if you're going to be funding schools and saying, hey, we're supposed to be keeping children safe here. And I will say, don't let this kid be forgotten. Tate Meyer, do not let him be forgotten because he is a hero. He was a hero.
Who was he?
He was a football player that tackled or tried to stop this little punk piece of shit so that other people could get free.
Oh, in this situation here?
Yeah. He confronted this guy to try and stop him.
Is he still alive?
So he died.
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is such a tricky situation because the thing is, normally,
I'm not saying don't hold the parents responsible for maybe civilly, but to charge them criminally, I don't see it. And I think this, if I remember correctly, this Miss whatever DA, the prosecutor McDonald, if I remember correctly, she's trying to go for the governor of Michigan.
Oh boy.
See, what was her stupid name?
I think it was Karen McDonald.
Oh boy, a Karen.
Right.
Going governor. Woefully inadequate. I'll have to look into this more, but if I remember correctly, she's trying to run for governor of California. Or California. That's one shithole. For Michigan.
Yes, Karen
McDonald. Here we go. Yeah, yesterday, Karen McDonald officially filed to run for Oakland County prosecutor, though she announced her campaign in early 2019, soon after giving up her career as Oakland County Circuit Court judge. Michigan got one hiatus after stepping down from the bench before filing for a partisan position Like Oakland County. Oh, fuck you. I'll have to look into this, but I remember hearing that. I'll have to confirm that. So,
See, she
let
was
that be.
quoted in one of the articles here as saying these charges are intended to hold the individuals who contributed to this tragedy accountable and also send a message that gun owners have a responsibility. When they
Of course they
fail
do.
to uphold that responsibility, there are serious criminal consequences. But it's
What did they?
funny
What law did they
because
violate?
but see, that's where I was gonna go. Like, that's the funny part. If they don't have laws in place that state you have to keep your gun locked up, ammunition separate, da da da, they didn't break any of those laws. So telling people you have to be more responsible as a gun owner when it's not like it was just lying out. Like, yeah, it was in their drawer, which is easily accessible, but everybody else in the state is the exact same type thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. I mean, with this situation too, like with this kid, it's not like from what it sounds like. And again, I don't know every detail of this story. I'm not the kid's parents, but from what it sounds like is they said like in school he never had any other things. There was never any um he's never been sent to the office before. He's never had any issues. There's never been any disciplinary things. So this is literally like the first time this kid is being called down to the office or pulled down to the office, and these issues are certainly arising. Now, if this was an ongoing thing, if there was like issues that people were aware of, like maybe the parents just really didn't know. Clearly the school didn't know before. There was no previous warning signs. Yes, there were warning signs the week leading up to this tragedy that had unfolded. But the
Yeah.
thing is,
Well,
it isn't just the parents' responsibility. Like you said, the school had a responsibility. If they didn't feel safe, like they would be, you need to take your kid home. He's not to come back in school until da 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 da. Like then you send the kid home. You search through his backpack. You search through this. Like if you were that concerned, which anybody would be, if I were to see that, I would be concerned too. But I would be saying, I do not feel comfortable your child being here right now because of these things. We are sending him home with you. They have the right to do that. So why didn't they do that? Why is everything being put solely on the parents? The kid created or is the one who did the horrible crime. He committed the crime. And I understand that the parents could have done something more. Well, so could the school. There could always be somebody else that should have noticed these signs, should have been paying attention, should have. The kid did the crime. People need to learn from this and maybe going forward, if they see warning signs and stuff like that, maybe as the school, you search through these things. You had a meeting with your counselors and your school board and whatever else it was. Nobody said, hey, we should be searching his backpack. He's drawing these things. This is kind of worrisome. Maybe we should check him. They have the
well,
right.
exactly. Well, and there was an article. I pulled it up. It was from the Detroit News saying that they are looking at actually holding the school responsible. Which absolutely, I think they should. They absolutely should.
Good. You can't just, I don't
So,
know, throw it on the parents and to charge them with involuntary manslaughter. That is a big charge. Like they're going to go to jail for the rest of their lives because of something that their kid did. That's not okay. The parents weren't behind it. The parents didn't see these warning signs and see, okay, well, he's drawing all these things and wants to go shoot up a school. Let's go buy him a gun. No, that's not how it transpired. You know what I mean? Like if
yeah.
they willingly knew that the kid was suffering issues and that these were a thing, he's making these videos, he's talking about doing these things, and they still went and bought him a gun, okay, we got a problem. Because now you're
Well,
aiding and abetting almost. Like you're like, okay, here's the weapon for you, kid. Have fun. But if they didn't know, how can they be held responsible? I don't know.
I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I would love to see. I would love to see what the internet finds on her. I have a sneaking suspicion she might be part of the Federalist Society, but I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that open there. All right. I don't know. Is there anything else?
I don't think I really got anything more.
No?
Just want to say, I guess, sorry um, to the kids who did lose their lives. It's a tragedy, and the kids who got injured,
Yeah.
and everybody who got affected by this, because this whole school who witnessed these things and had to live through this, they're going to be affected for a long time, and hopefully they get the help that they need. And yeah, we'll have some updates, I guess, as this trial and everything unfold, which will probably be quite a while from now. But yeah, keep you updated. But thanks for listening. Hope everybody has a fantastic or had a fantastic weekend, has a good week so
Oh,
far.
hold on.
Yeah.
I would like to know, what are people's opinions? What are your opinions on this?
Yeah. You
Am
think the
I
boy should be charged?
am I completely? I would say, am I out to lunch? Am I some conservative fucking claptrap bullcrap, or what? I just, for me, I think it all comes down to individual responsibility. That's kind of my hard line is you are responsible for whatever happens.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
don't
and
know.
I don't know if I told you
Yeah.
too that the kid's not being charged. Like he's being charged as an adult too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which I find so funny that he's being charged as an adult, but a guy that actually brought a gun to school and wanted to shoot and kill people, who was actually an adult, is seeing a significantly reduced, you know, sentence. I understand one people died, but shouldn't there be some kind of equity, equal application of the law? I understand they're different states, but
I don't know.
he's a kid. He's a kid. He obviously needed help, and that I think that's one thing. There are some people that break laws that honestly probably deserve a, you know death would be too soft of a punishment. Is this kid maybe, like, he is mentally unstable? I'm sure tons of stuff is going to come out about his family and his history. Maybe his mental state. Maybe he is. But they're going to demonize uh people that actually do want respond, like, self-governed, self-responsibility, or individual responsibility, and then say, oh well, homeless people, they're just they just need help. Well, I guess, we can have it. You can have your cake and eat it too. Homeless people are just down on their luck and just downtrodden. Some people are happy with it. Some people are okay being homeless and they like it. Some people obviously need that help, and they have mental issues. They have addiction issues. Maybe this kid has a mental issue that was undiagnosed, and the school's seen the writing on the fucking wall, and they said, eh, he can go back to class.
Well, maybe. I mean, who knows what he was like? Like most most kids, I would assume like this would be a lot
Oh,
more withdrawn and I mean, I would assume, I don't know for a fact, but maybe he was more loner type and just kind of kept to himself and I don't know. There has to
the
where was he a popular kid? Were his grades good and then all of a sudden he just snapped or like what was it he like before?
So what I would probably guess, so from that mom's text message, like, after the gun, he's probably excited, like, hey, I get to shoot this. Or maybe he
Yeah.
was like, hey, I get to shoot people with this. I don't know. I'm not going to apply a motive to something that we do not have any information on. But I'm sure she's like, hey, yeah, don't do that in school. Like, that,
Yeah.
like, when I seen that text message, like, LOL, well, don't get caught doing it. It's like, well, fine if, like, you know, like, I'll say, the old trope is, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could have just been something he was excited about, or, he
Well,
was just
that's
excited
right.
to start shooting. So I don't know. I would love to hear, like, hey, am I Am I completely out of touch and trying to apply a motive or trying to exonerate people that are deserving of being put in prison for something that they necessarily did not do? I think that's a pretty dangerous thing because where do you cut the line? Where?
Yeah. I think the sad
Like,
part for me too, well, aside from everybody else, all the lives that were lost, but I mean, in one of the drawings or whatever, he had the words on there, "Blood everywhere, the thoughts won't stop, help me."
yeah. So like,
There was
oh,
something going on.
so yeah, like so if you're seeing that, help me, help me. This is like literally that is a cry for fucking help.
Yeah,
And the school's going, eh, you know, little Ethan, he's just being dramatic. But should you not take that seriously? Like I thought there was supposed to be like a zero tolerance policy. If there's even a thought of that, people are going to be put in harm, like,
but yeah,
keep them with the principal. They check it, and if need be, okay. And what if you checked him and holy fuck, he brought a gun to school, and guns aren't supposed to be in school.
yeah,
Okay, then you can take the corrective action. Like that is so much easier to do,
right?
but they didn't.
They could have called the police. The lives would have been saved right there. And I mean, again, they could say, "Well, the parents didn't look in the backpack." Well, neither did you. You can't just keep pointing fingers here. Like, maybe they thought their kid wasn't that stupid to do something
Well,
like that, obviously. If they really thought that their kid was capable of doing that, I don't think they would have left him there.
and if the dad is saying like, "Hey, once he's seen, holy fuck, the gun's gone," what did he do?
He called the police.
Exactly. So he tried to, hey, there might be a problem here. We gotta deal with this now.
Yeah, my gun's missing, and I think my kid's the shooter.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I don't know. I think the whole situation is sad, and I think it's sad that they're putting all the blame on the parents, which I don't think is right. I think that, like you said, I hold the school quite a bit responsible because they should have done something too. If they felt that he was that much of a threat, they should not have let him go home. And I know for a fact that if it was roles are reversed and it was our kid's school, they would be like, "Come pick up your kid.
Yeah.
Come pick him up. We don't feel safe for him being here." Da 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 da. But then again, they also would have searched his backpack, searched his whatever. If needs be, the police would have been called. Like, yeah, the kid might have been charged. He might be having a rough go, but lives would have been saved.
I don't know. I see, already the gun control advocates are already saying this is why guns need to be banned. And then you see on the other side, well, this is why teachers need to carry guns.
Oh yeah, well, there's already articles that I see. I haven't even looked into them, but there's already Biden calls for tougher gun laws. Like 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So
No, it's
uh
sad. But
all right, yeah, let's
okay.
let's get out of here.
All right, everyone, have a great week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Check us out on all our socials. They'll be in the description box below, along with all the articles that we talked about today. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Bye.